Happy New Year. Healthy New Year, blessed New Year, all the best of everything New Year, right? Yes. So, our theme this month is co-creation. And we're going to be talking about throughout the month how we create. Not only how we create, but what we create with. And we create, as all of us know, with the spirit of life, with the divine. And so today I am doing a lesson on vows and personal vows and how we take vows and what we do with them and what they are and what they mean to us. And goals are wonderful. If you have goals, that's a good thing. But vows are a little bit different. I'll be explaining to you why. So, having said all of that, it is now time for us to have our spiritual mind treatment. So I'm doing that today. So let's get comfortable. Close your eyes if you'd like. And just take a deep breath in. I love to think about Gary's breathing. So breathe in and just go, ah, ah. I like the way Gary does that. Ah. Okay. So we're all together now. We're unified as one, and we're knowing this truth together that there is but one life, one power, one divine essence. And it is called the Divine One, the Spirit, the Life Divine, and it is our life right now, and we claim it in consciousness knowing that God is for us. And as we endeavor throughout this new year called 2019, we know that we are blessed with so many spiritual gifts. And those gifts are blessings. And we not only appreciate our lives, but we appreciate everything that is happening through us for our highest and best always. And we know right now in this moment that God is for us. And we know that through the music, through the reading, through the lesson this morning, that everything is working in divine order and perfect right action. We claim our good in the form of inspiration, and we become manifestors of our good. We take vows, and through this lesson this morning, we learn about vows, and we are inspired by the message. We are inspired by the Spirit within us. We are co-creators with Spirit, and we are creating a new life beginning right here and right now. Each day is a new beginning. Each day brings a gift. And each and every one of us values ourselves in a new, more wonderful way than ever before. We appreciate ourselves. We appreciate and recognize the spiritual life because that life is blessing us each and every day. We are so blessed and so grateful for the wonderful way that Spirit is operating through us as greater health, greater wealth, greater creativity, and more loving, harmonious relationships. Any thought patterns that anyone has had of a negative consequence, whether it is fear, resistance, rejection, or rebellion, unworthiness, not deserving, any of those thought patterns are released into the nothingness from whence they came. And each one gets clarity. Each one gets a new purpose. Each one moves forward knowing that today is a new beginning, and all is well. We live our lives abundantly. We live our lives joyously, and we thank Spirit for all the gifts we are given. This word is now released into the law of mind in action, where it is free to do its perfect work, and it does. So be it, and together we say, and so it is, and that is the way it is. And now, please help me welcome Emily Howard, our licensed practitioner. She is going to be doing our reading this morning. Emily?
Thank you. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. My reading today is from the Success book by John Randolph Price, the chapter called Your True Worth. The universe does not compensate individuals based on the activity of work, but on the activity of consciousness. Accordingly, if you feel that your life is empty and useless, that your work is insignificant, that the things that are yours to do are really meaningless, then you will be pressing out of the universal substance an income directly related to that consciousness, insignificant, trivial, useless, and valueless. On the other hand, once you see yourself as you are in truth and embody that vision, In your feeling nature, you will move above lack and limitation. You are an heir to all that the Father has, and all that you have to do to receive your inheritance is to die to your old ways of thinking. Rising in place will be the truth of you, a strong, vibrant, useful, significant, valuable, worthwhile, meaningful, loving, and fulfilled individual. Begin now to love those empty places in your life fully. Get to really know yourself and love that rediscovered you with everything you've got. Then look at every detail of your home and work life and let the love flow. Nothing is too insignificant for the energy of love. So be a radiating center of love wherever you are. A meditation. I came into this world with a very specific purpose. I came to fulfill a mission. I came to love life and realize the truth about me. I came to contribute to the salvation of this world. I am part of God, and the fullness of the Godhead dwells in me. In the mind of God, no one or no thing is useless or meaningless. Everyone and everything is of critical importance to the balance and order of the universe. Without me, God would not be complete. Without me, the universe would lose its equilibrium. All that is before me to do, I do with happy enthusiasm, for nothing is too insignificant, and never again will there be a sense of futility in my life. I am overflowing with gratitude to the Father for the opportunity to be in physical form at this time. I am so thankful to be right where I am right now, serving all who come my way with love, joy, understanding, and forgiveness. Recognizing my true worth, I now go forth with uplifted vision. I see with the inner eye of the loving and prospering activity of the Christ within. I see with my physical eyes lavish abundance everywhere. I am peaceful, powerful, and poised, for I know who I am.
Thank you, Emily. That was such a great reminder for each and every one of us this morning, wasn't it? A very wonderful reminder. Thank you so much for that reading. Beautiful, beautiful. So, I want to say to each and every one of you that what I say all of the time is that when you leave here, you will feel better than when you came in. I always have that as an intention. So when you leave here, you will feel better than when you came in. Our Wednesday nights are going on again. This coming Wednesday night, Barbara Munlin will be speaking on opening your mind to receive and creating goals through spiritual mind treatment. That is Wednesday night at the Unitarian Universalist Center. It begins at 6:30 until 8:30, and if you have any questions, you can see Barbara Munlin after service. But please make it your business, if you have some goals or things you would like to demonstrate, to see Barbara on Wednesday night at the Unitarian Center. You will learn how to do spiritual mind treatment, and you will also be focusing on your goals. I also want to talk to you about something that's coming up the third week. You have this insert in your program. I'm really excited about this, and I want to thank Yaya for her participation and her help with all of this. And other people who are in here, they know who they are, but I'm not mentioning them because I don't know if they want me to or not. But thank you, thank you, thank you. All of you know who you are. Thank you. The Reiki Circle of Healing. We have a healing circle with Reiki Master Healer and Interfaith Minister Carmen Lorino. And she will be here from 12:45 until 2 o'clock the third week of January on a Sunday for Reiki healing. So I think it's going to be wonderful. I've heard so many things about this process, how wonderful it is. You will receive a healing. It is done on a love offering basis. Please give a love offering, give something, because this woman comes, I believe, from Staten Island. So she's coming out here to work with us, to help us, and I'm so looking forward to it. I know it will be a blessing. Okay, what else do we have going on here? I think that's it, except for having a good year this year. Make this your best year ever. And every day, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Every day, begin to do something good for yourself. And I love that reading because that was spot on for everything that we're speaking about today. Thank you again, Emily. And now we have the miracle of Yuichi. So please help me welcome Yuichi.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Well, as you know, I'm from Tokyo. I'm a Japanese. We Japanese always celebrate New Year's Day more than ever. New Year's is the most important day for us. And I was in Philadelphia hanging with friends, and that was really nice too. So I know I started really nicely, so this year will be better than ever. And I wish you guys Happy New Year as well. It's probably the best year for you guys too. So, quick announcement. I'm actually performing tonight from 6:30 at the Bonafide, the place again I performed a couple months ago. And that's address is 212, easy, just an area code, 212 East 52nd Street, right off of 2nd Avenue, I believe. So that's close. So I will be there from 6:30 and performing with fantastic singer Julie Eisenberg, and as well as great bass player Alex Blake, who used to play with Dizzy Gillespie, McCoy Tyner, Freddie Hubbard, Manhattan Transfer. Who else? I tried to think of a name from Philadelphia, singer, killed herself. Do you remember? Phyllis Hyman, thank you. Phyllis Hyman. He used to work with him as well. I mean, it's great bass player. So this morning, the selection would be, it's kind of interesting to play every week. I think I played the last 2 or 3 weeks. And it's always gives me a nice little, anyway, it gives me a nice little push, I have to come up with nice tunes. So that's good for me, really beautiful. Thank you for giving me a great opportunity, Reverend Loretta. And the selection would be, somehow it just came up to me a couple minutes ago, and I'm going to play it. It's How Deep Is Your Love by Bee Gees. This is about my age. Well, actually, a year younger. It came out 1977. Hope you enjoy.
Bee Gees song, very nice, thank you. I forgot to mention before that we are having group treatment today, so we will do that probably around 12:30ish. So if everyone wants a treatment for the new year, please feel free to be part of the group this morning. Also, I just want to say thank you to Kurt Hassinger. He did the inserts for us for the Reiki Circle of Healing, so thank you, Kurt, wherever you are. Where are you, Kurt? There you are. Thank you. Okay, I want to start out with a quote this morning from Sharon Salzberg. She's the author of The Power of Kindness, and I really love what she says here. She says, "What unites us as human beings is an urge for happiness, which at heart is a yearning for union, for overcoming our feelings of separateness. We want to feel our identity with something larger than our small selves, and we long to be one with our own lives and each other." So this kind of talks a little bit about what I'm going to be speaking to you about today, which is really our vows. Vows, what they are, what they mean, what they do, how they help us. So think about vows. What are vows? When you think about them, you can think of marital vows, and you can think of the things that we say to each other when we have vows. There are ceremonies for vows. Marital vows could say something like for better or for worse, but today people are now writing their own vows, in sickness and in health till death do us part. But that is the one thing that each and every one of us in this room has. We have until death do I part. You part, we part, see? Till death do I part. So the whole meaning of this today is that you are with yourself until you're not, you see? You're not with anyone else. You're with yourself until you're not. Now, I didn't have to tell you that. You already knew that, right? You're a very smart group of people. I know that. But the reason I'm saying that is because it's what you do with each and every day, and I'm learning that more and more and more as I practice the things that I am teaching. You see, because I always say to you, it's not only about what you are saying or the information you are gathering, it is about the practice. And what you are practicing really comes full circle back to you. Someone here wrote a book called What You Give Out, You Get Back, or What Goes Around Comes Around. Yes, thank you, Rob. So it is so true. What we give to ourselves, you see, this is what we're learning this year. We're learning to give to ourselves. For the most part, we give to others and we help other people, but we need to also work on our own consciousness. Now, many years ago, and I'll get to vows in just a moment, but many years ago, the word conceit. How many people can remember that word? They don't use it that much anymore. Some of you don't even remember it. Conceit. C-O-N-C-E-I-T. You are conceited. How many people remember that? Okay, so more people remember it. So I'm not alone. Because if you had a thought about yourself that was a good thought and you were telling people how well you were doing, the word conceited would come to you. And it would be given to you invariably, at least in my own experience, by maybe some of your teachers, maybe some of your friends. But we need to drop that word. We need to let that word go. Because what we are doing is we are nurturing ourselves, and it is not from this old idea. And I love the reading this morning from Emily when she spoke about old ideas. One of the things that I'd like to talk to you today about when we're taking vows, what are vows? Vows are promises that we give to ourselves. We make a vow and we promise ourselves to do something. And we promise spirit. And then we learn to believe something. So what we're learning how to do, and this is key to this lesson this morning, is to believe in the power of the spirit, not in the power of the self. There's a big difference. Because spirit can do for us what we cannot do for ourselves. That is really our teaching in a nutshell. If we will surrender to the spirit within us and allow it to carry us, to bless us, to inspire us, to empower us, then we take the vow. And the vow becomes a promise to ourselves and also to the spirit within us. So if you can't believe it about yourself, you have to be able to believe it about spirit. You see, that's what this lesson is about this morning. What can Spirit do for you? Spirit is limitless. Spirit can do all things through you if you can believe it can. You have to begin this new year with the belief not in yourself but in the power of the Spirit within you. So vows, you're making a vow to yourself, a vow that you are worthy, a vow that you have value. And that's what this reading was about this morning, which was really such a blessing. I loved hearing that. Because what we value grows and increases. You know, I listen to Tony Robbins a lot lately, and I love his messages. I think he's really wonderful. He has a lot of clarity. And he talks about increasing your value, thinking of yourself as a product. You see? Thinking of yourself as a product. And by product, you can think of something, a product of service, a product of what gifts do you have, and what gifts are you giving throughout the year, each and every day. What are your gifts? Now, some of you may be leaving your job or your profession, but you still have a lot of gifts to give. Doesn't matter. You will always be giving something each and every day. But it's the way that you give. Giving with love, giving with power, giving with joy, knowing who you are. And then taking a vow, a promise to yourself. Promise yourself something and keep your promise to yourself, and promise Spirit something. For me, that's a little easier. I love goals. I have goals. I work with them all of the time, but I love the idea of these vows. And another vow, St. Paul. St. Paul wrote, I die daily. What is that message telling us? It's telling us not that he's dying every day. He's not dying every day physically. What is he dying to? That's the message today. We need to die to the old ideas that we have about ourselves or other people, you see? We need to let go. So you want to think about this year, what are some things that you would like to let go of? And then promise yourself that you are willing to work in consciousness every day to let them go. You can come here every Sunday and you can listen, but if you don't do the work at home on your consciousness, you may get some changes, but you won't get the changes that are so profound. Another great teacher that I love to listen to is Robin Sharma. Heard of him? Wonderful teacher. And he teaches about the practice every day. He calls it the hour, his 2 hours. If you will begin to devote some time to yourself, we get up early in the morning and we rush and rush and rush. You know, this morning I woke up at 3:30, so Robin Sharma was kind of teaching me something. I didn't want to get up that early. And I went back to sleep. And then I woke up again at maybe 6 or 7, something like that. But the point I'm making is, if you will get up each and every day and do something good for yourself, make a vow to yourself, make a promise to yourself, give yourself a gift. What is the gift that you would like to give to yourself? And it's not about being conceited. It's not about, oh, who do you think you are? It's not about any of that stuff. It's about valuing yourself and loving yourself and nurturing yourself. And how do we do that in this teaching? We do it through spiritual mind treatment. We do it through meditation, through journaling, or emotional freedom technique. Whatever it is, whatever tool that you choose, do it daily, you see? I've had a lot of flack from some ministers about, I know this is being recorded, but it's okay, about this thing called emotional freedom technique. Some people say, well, you're in religious science, you're not supposed to do that. Well, I'm not a fundamentalist. You know, Ernest Holmes said we are open at the top. We are open to all kinds of new ideas, you see. We have to be open. That openness is what blesses us. We are willing then to make the change, There's a show on television about flipping houses. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not, and they go in, and every time I get my nails done, I guess they don't want to keep anything on the screen political, so they have flipping houses over and over. You see all these houses being flipped. But the point that I'm making is that this is what we can do with ourselves. They start on the inside of the house, and they begin to work on it. And they begin to change it and to transform it. And that's what we are doing with our lives. We are transforming our consciousness. Remember the words of Jesus, the master teacher. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. You see? Be ye transformed. He didn't say demolishing. That's not what we talk about. I don't like the word destroy. Raymond Charles Barker used that word so very, very often. I don't think we ever destroy anything. Spirit does not know how to destroy. So I disagree. I think that what we are doing is we are gently transforming our consciousness day by day, moment by moment. And as was said in the reading today and in so many other things, we talk about changing our lives, but we do it in a gentle way, gentle correction. Not getting upset with ourselves because we make a mistake, but gently correcting ourselves and becoming renewed and knowing within ourselves that we are co-creating with God, with Spirit. This is our theme for the month, co-creation. We don't do it on our own. Everyone in this room has something within them. Do you get that? Yes. You have something within you that is so powerful that it can transform your consciousness. And it will if you will allow it to. If you will work daily on your consciousness and do some readings, listen to some things, do something different. Do something different for yourself each and every day. Begin to acquire more and more joy and peace of mind. I heard a great story this week, and I'll tell you the ending of it, but I love it. It's a man who lives out in Hollywood. Now I think he lives in Florida. And he wanted to be an actor so badly, true story, so badly that he wouldn't give up. So he didn't have any work. And he was married. He didn't have a family, but he had a wife. And at the time, he said, you know what, I really want to be an actor. And she said, you may want to be an actor, but you're not paying the bills. Bills are piling up, you're not paying the bills, on and on. And she said to him, unless you get a job, I am not going to stay with you. And he knew at that point in time that if he got a job, that he would be giving up on his dream, as he called it, okay? So she left him. And he kept on trying, working. And he had this dog, and he loved this dog. And the dog stays with you. You know how the dogs are. They stay with you no matter what. They're always there. They love you. They love you. The cats love you too. And so this dog that he loved so very, very much, he said, you know what? I don't have any money. He said, and what am I going to do? And he actually went out. This is a true story. He went out on the street, and he sold his dog. Yeah, sad. But when I tell you who this person was, he went home and he wrote a script. And he wrote that script within 2 days, nonstop. He didn't sleep, he didn't eat, he didn't do anything but wrote the script. And it was going to be sold to Hollywood for $100,000, $150,000, which was a lot of money for him. He had nothing. He didn't even have his dog. And he said, I will not do this unless I can be, now you probably are getting to know who the person is, unless I can be in the movie. So you all know who it is. It's Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. But I didn't know that part about the dog, but let me tell you the rest of the story so you can smile instead of being sad. So he negotiates with the man who he sold the dog to. He said, that's my dog. I want my dog back. And the man said, okay. He said, I don't want to sell you back your dog. I love the dog. He said, okay, I'll give you $500. I'll give you $1,000. It ended up costing him $15,000, but he got his dog back. And he also made, on that film made $200 million the first time it was released. So why am I telling you this? Because this is a severe example of something. Most people would not have the chutzpah, is that the word? To do something like that, right? But what I'm telling you is that when you make a vow to yourself, when you are committed to something, just surrender. And he didn't even have our teaching, and he did that. We have a teaching that can inform us and bless us and uplift us and inspire us. Take the daily vows. The daily vows to let go of whatever is not serving you. Let it go. Release it into the nothingness from whence it came. Let go. Thomas Troward, in his essay, Yourself, says, the universal essence of life is a continual becoming. And then he says, know thyself. So we use a lot of technology today to not know ourselves, yes? We look at movies. I love movies. It's okay. But what I'm doing different this year is I am not connecting with my dear friends with emails about what's going on with the politics. So I may lose some friends this year, but that's going to be okay for me. I am willing to let go of this stuff. I cannot, as I stand here, I cannot. So what I do now, and I'm going to share this with you because it's a great idea, I think, I have YouTube on my television. See, I transferred it from the television. I'm not very technological, but I learned how to do it, and I'm very grateful. Because now I can go on YouTube and I can look at different things that will feed me and nourish me. So take a vow this year. Promise yourself that you will give yourself some good thoughts, that you will let go of the thoughts that may hurt you, that may challenge you, and that you will come into this new year with a blessing. Assets, liabilities. Another story. I'm talking to someone this week who tells me, you know, Reverend Loretta, someone just asked me if they could be a part of my website and they could create some work and they would take 80% and I would get 20%. And all of my friends and family are telling me I shouldn't be doing this because I'm only getting 20%. So I said to her, so you're getting 20%, what are you doing for it? You have a website, she's using your website. What's the problem with that? I don't see it. Is that a liability? No, that's an asset. You're creating wealth, you're getting more money, you're getting 20%, and all you're doing is having a website. But her friends and family are telling her she shouldn't be doing it. She should be doing it for 50%. But I said, that's their opinion. See, that's one of the things that I am learning. We need to become our own teacher. We need to know who we are, and we need to listen to that voice within us. Look at your assets and your liabilities. But that was an asset. And when I told her that, I said, look, you're getting 20% of whatever she'll make throughout the year. And all you have to do is allow her to be part of your website. I don't see a problem with that. That's my take on it, whatever yours is. But do you see how you can turn something that could be an asset into a liability? And that's what people do in the world with us. You're all excited. How many people have had this experience? You're all excited about something and you share the good news with someone and they tell you why you can't do it. So everyone in here practically has had that experience. So I want to share with you that you take a vow, you promise yourself to go within and ask the question, is this good for me? You know, is this something that will work for me? How will it work out? Do your spiritual mind treatment. Work on your consciousness and work with spirit to co-create a better quality of life. So she's getting 20% and her family is upset because she's not getting 50%. I don't get that. I see that as an asset. You're getting 20%. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. Unless you make it wrong, you see? So you can choose to be happy about something that you are receiving, or you can choose to denigrate it. You have to know the difference. I think that's a very important lesson. I really do. And it goes back to what I said about I die daily. Die to those old ideas. If there's a consistent theme in your life, anybody in here have a theme? Am I the only one? We all have our themes. We can call them themes, right? The theme of my life. We could write a song about that. Melba could write a song about that, right? Melba, you could write a song about the theme of our lives. The theme of our lives, whatever that theme is, begin to think of it as something that you are going to let go of. The same way they flip the houses, you see? First they go in and they clean everything out. That's what we need to start doing. Go in and clean it out. Let it go. Let go of all the guilt. Do the treatment. Get a practitioner. Come to the group treatments. Go on Wednesday night. Do everything that you need to do for yourself to succeed. But don't sell your dog. Don't sell your dog. I knew none of you in here would do that anyway. But that is really, when I heard that, I was really taken back by that. That was amazing to me. It really was. That was really an amazing story. I mean, talk about going to any length to succeed, you know. But we have spirit within us. And if we will just begin to believe in that spirit that is within us and take those vows. Vows are something that are really sacred. They can be sacred to yourself. Promise yourself. If you feel unworthy, if you don't feel like you deserve something, we all have that. It's part of being human sometimes. Or if you feel that you're going to feel good about yourself and you're going to say, gee, I did so well with something. And then the word for me way back in the day was conceited. She is so conceited. He is so conceited. It's okay. It's okay to let people be who they are. But you be who you are. And you be more of who you are. This is what Troward is talking about. His essay called Yourself. He says you are always becoming more. But what more? You see, that's the question you have to ask yourself every day. What am I becoming more of? More confident? Having more clarity, more joy, more peace, more abundance and prosperity? You see? If you go and tell someone that you would like to be prosperous, but in your heart and your mind you feel that you don't deserve it, you have to let that limiting belief go. And I also suggest getting a journal this year. I have so many journals at home. I really do. I love writing now. It's so good for me. It really is. It really helps everyone. To write out your thoughts, you see. Write out what you're thinking about. Write out some of your negative qualities, and then treat to let them go. Dr. Grayson taught me something that was so valuable. He said, you may not know, but Spirit does know. And I take that with me all the time. I may not know something, but the Spirit within me does. If there's a pattern that operates through you, the Spirit of intelligence goes before you to make the crooked places straight. Make these vows to yourself each and every day. Vows don't only have to be for ceremonies. They don't always have to be for marriages. Some people have divorce vows, you know. It depends. Like, if you want to have a vow, make a promise to yourself that will bring you something good each and every day. Vow to increase your value. And how do you do that? You don't do that by taking notes. You do that by taking notes, praying, and taking action. So what will you do differently this year, you see? How many people will you contact if you need to get a new job? If you sit at home by the phone, that doesn't work. They don't even use the phone at home anymore. They use the cell phone and they use all the modern technology, which is really somewhat challenging for my generation, you know. I still have my landline, so I don't use my cell phone all the time. But you get the picture of what I'm talking about. Every day, work on your consciousness. Do something good for yourself. You know, nourish yourself, not only with food, but with exercise or anything at all. Affirmations, affirmative prayer. Begin to live in what I call the solution. And I love that. You see, we hear all of this stuff. We were talking this morning about something, and I said, you know, one of the gifts that Michael Beckwith gives, Reverend Michael Beckwith gives to us, he teaches us not to react so much, but to learn how to respond, because there's plenty of stuff to react to. And that's my choice with the email. I have a lot of email friends that want me to believe what they believe about politics. I'm not doing it anymore. No more. Gone. Done. No more. I'm going within for direction. That's what I'm doing. And what will influence me is the Spirit within me, not anyone or anything else. And that feels good. It's very freeing. Because you know what? It reminds me of the time, you know, I worked many years ago in the state, and I was a delegate at a convention. And I still remember this. This is coming through me, so I want to share it with you. I was a delegate, and everyone was screaming and yelling, and this goes way back, like late 70s. They were screaming and yelling at each other. They were carrying on. And I said, you know what? I must have been a religious science then. I didn't have the teaching, but I was. I said, this is ridiculous. I went upstairs. I took a shower. I came downstairs. I felt so good. And this guy came over and started screaming at me, Loretta, where have you been? We've been doing all this, and and I said to him, did you accomplish anything? And he said, no. I said, well, I rest my case. That's my point today, you see. We can drive ourselves crazy over sometimes what appears to be nothing. We can drive ourselves crazy. Yeah. We need to get centered. We need to go within. We need to make our lives better. Because as we make our lives better, we make everyone around us lives better. you see? That's really the message today. But I want to leave you with that thought, because that was a blessing to me. The way that I said that to those people. And I was very serious. I felt so good. I had taken a shower. I was all refreshed. And they looked yucky. They were screaming and yelling, but they did not accomplish. If he had said to me, we did this, I would say, okay, I apologize then. But they didn't. They just wanted to yell and scream and yell and scream. I don't want to yell and scream anymore. You know? I want my days to be good days. I want my days to be blessed every day. I want to have vows. I want to make a vow to myself. Make a vow to yourself. Promise yourself that you will be good to yourself each and every day, and that something wonderful is going to come out of this year for each and every one of you. Each and every one of you. Something so wonderful, such a great blessing, a wonderful blessing. Remember Trower's essay. And also, I want you to think about this year as increasing your value. Increasing your value. Valuing yourself more and more each and every day. Because when you value yourself more, your worth goes up, you see. You can accept more good for yourself. You will not deny yourself anymore. If you are used to denying yourself, then you must get into this feeling of health and well-being. Knowing that you are healthy, that you are made in the image and likeness of God, and that you are part of Spirit. This is our month to co-create with Spirit. What will you co-create? What are you doing with this whole month of January? Think about that. And then make a vow to get some action items to do. One of the things that I've also learned is you can take 3 or 4 things that you'd like to do towards something and do them every day. And pray for them. This is something that works for me. Pray for every area of your life. 4 areas. Health, wealth, self-expression, and relationships. And you can pray for each and every area of your life. And I shared with all of you about my holiday, which was Christmas for me and my family, and I asked for and received a drama-free Christmas, which was a miracle, a wonderful miracle. Drama-free. It was great. It really was. So have an intention for something. What is your intention for this new year? What are you going to fill it up with? And if you begin to fill it up with negativity, catch yourself, and erase those thoughts, and replace them with new thoughts of joy and peace, and greater expectations. Expect good things to happen to you each and every day. That wonderful class that I taught called Shortcut to a Miracle, it was really a great class. It's a great book if any of you want to get it, Shortcut to a Miracle. They talk about in there the law of expectancy. And what you are doing is you are creating an expectancy, what you are expecting for your day from people around you. Get a new expectation. You know, if you have someone in your life that you're always criticizing or finding fault with, then you have to really look at that. You have to be aware of that and let it go. Gentle correction. And begin to care more about that person. See their good points. See your good points. Look at your assets. We all have some liabilities, but begin to bless your assets and they will grow. Everyone in this room is very, very talented, and everyone in this room is going to have a wonderful, blessed new year. I'd like to end this lesson with a spiritual mind treatment for the year 2019. Make it a special one. So let's close our eyes and let's go within and let's know this truth together as I speak this word for each and every person in this room, including the speaker. Knowing that this year called 2019 is a year of benefit. It is a year of blessings. It is a year that brings to each and every one in this room the quality of spirit. We are all co-creators. We are all at one with this magnificent one. And through this magnificence that inspires, uplifts, and blesses each and every one of us, we are moving forward, onward, and upward in consciousness into a greater realization of who and what we are. We take vows on a daily basis that bless us, uplift us, and transform our consciousness. We are renewing ourselves on the inside, and what comes from that are more and more blessings, more joy, more prosperity, more health, more creativity, and more loving, harmonious relationships. Through this word, spoken today for each and every one, Each one in this room receives a personal blessing, and this is the truth. I give thanks for this wonderful teaching. I give thanks for this community, and I know that Spirit is at work in our lives. And as we look out into our worlds, this year is a spectacular year for each and every one of us. We know this truth together, and with gratitude and love for the wonderful way that Spirit is at work, I simply say thank you, Spirit, releasing the word, knowing it's done, so be it, and together we say, and so it is. And that is the way it is. Thank you. And Happy New Year. Thank you. And Happy New Year. And now we ask that you return the wonderful music from Yoichi.
The next selection would be something happy, written by Stevie Wonder. It's called "Isn't She Lovely?" Hope you enjoy.